Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this is Christopher Garcia here with Chyann, Chyann, Ruybul, and Harley Jones. Today we're going to be talking about the history of DC and Marvel Comics. DC Comics were founded by Malcolm Wheeler Nielsen. DC Comics was an ionic comic-based parody of representatives of some of the most enduring and recognition characters of 2000, of the 20th and the 21st century. DC was taken from Detective Comics by Adam. The history of DC Comics is they wanted to show that there's some people out there that could actually help in life and all that, that you can be outstanding and all that. The first superheroes were Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Flash, and a Reverse Flash. Superman came out in 1938, Batman came out in 1939, Wonder Woman came out in 1942, and The Flash and Reverse Flash, they both came out in 1945.
Why was DC created?
DC was created because the founder wanted to show kids that it's okay because there's more people here. Like, they wanted to give kids a visuality, like what they want to be when they grow up and all that.
What was the creator thinking?
The creator was thinking, but like, we need something that kids could look up to, because by the time DC was created, it was in the Great Depression. Kids, like, they didn't have nothing to do, so he decided to make a comic book where everybody would enjoy, kids, adults, like all that stuff.
Marvel started in 1939 as Timely Productions, and by the early 1950s had generally become known as Atlas Comics. The Marvel branding began in 1961, the year the company launched the Fantastic Four. The first modern comic books under the Marvel Comics brand were the science fiction anthology Journey into Mystery number 69 with super and teen humor title Patsy Walker number 95, which each displayed an MC box on its cover. Marvel published further with superhero titles featuring such heroes and anti-heroes such as the Hulk, Thor, Ant-Man, Iron Man, the X-Men, Daredevil, the Inhumans, Black Panther, Doctor Strange, Captain Marvel, and the Silver Surfer. Memorable antagonists are Doctor Doom, Magneto, Galactus, Loki, the Green Goblin, and Dr. Octopus, all existing in a shared reality known as the Marvel Universe, with locations that mirror real-life cities such as New York, Los Angeles, and Chicago.
And because they put these real-life cities, is that why they were a lot different than DC?
Yes, because in DC, some of the places that movies and TV shows take place are in fictional cities like Star City or Gotham City.
Isn't Gotham City like in New York or something like that?
I believe that Gotham City is filmed in its own place. Like, it's not based off of anything. It's just Gotham City.
Marvel William Nielsen was born January 7, 1890. He was an American writer when the American comic book. He created the first comic book of original Marvel instead of Marvel taken from newspaper stuff. Marvel William Nielsen was born January 7, 1990 in Greenville, Tennessee. His father died in 1894 after the death of his brother
Christopher.
He had a sister who died in 1894. Marvel was 4 at the time of her death. His mother moved to New York after this, moved to New York City and became a journalist. She started a women's magazine in Portland. She then married T.J.B. Nelson, who Marvel they took his name. He was raised in a intellectual household where his family entertained such guests as Theodore Roosevelt and
Stanley, originally Stanley Martin Lieber, was born in New York City on December 28th of 1922. He lived during the Great Depression. He also collaborated in creating many of the superheroes of Marvel that we see with Jack Kirby and Steve Ditko.
What were some of the superheroes?
I'll list a few. Daredevil, the Fantastic Four, Spider-Man, the X-Men, and Iron Man. He did create a lot more, though. He had been hired at Timely Comics in 1939 as an office assistant, and in the early 1940s, he became an interim editor. Timely Comics, which was known as the Atlas Comics in the 50s, later became known as Marvel Comics. In 1942, he joined the U.S. Army and served stateside in the Signal Corps.
What did he do in the Army?
He was writing manuals, training films, and slogans. Early in the 60s, Lee called upon his boss to create a series. This series became the Fantastic Four, to compete with the rival DC's Comics Justice League of America. In 1971, Stan Lee was asked to write a story on bad effects of drugs, and he wanted to include it in The Amazing Spider-Man. An issue came up, but he did it anyways.
Oh, what was an issue?
The Comics Code Authority was against it because there was a code that did not permit drug use to be included in comics. Marvel, because of this, was appreciated for spreading the responsible message. The CCA, also because of this, abolished the code and permitted negative depictions of drugs to be in comics. Stan Lee also got involved with DC in 2000.
For what?
He launched this series, Just Imagine, for them, in which he recreated some of their superheroes, like Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, and others. Stan Lee also has a YouTube channel named Stan Lee's World of Heroes and a history channel named Stan Lee's Superhumans. His YouTube channel airs various programs created by him, and a history channel show is a series that looks at people with remarkable skills and abilities. Stan Lee also received awards like a Medal of Arts honor from President George W. Bush, and others like Saturn Awards, Scream Awards, and Producers Guild of America. Thank you for listening to our podcast about the history of DC Comics and the history of Marvel Comics.